Hi everybody, welcome back. I'm continuing my mission to find a better pouring medium. So did an experiment recently with different pouring mediums because I'm having problems getting Floetrol. I've been sent a dodgy batch of Floetrol and flood Floetrol, and I think there must be an alternative. It's so expensive to order here in the UK. So of my experiment, I quite liked the PVA glue and water pouring medium, and I quite liked the paints mixed with just water, nothing else added. The problem with adding just water, though, is that you're having to add a high quantity of paint, and that is also really expensive. So that puts me off as well. So my next idea, I'm going to do a Dutch pour now, but the base is going to have PVA glue in, so I'm mixing a lot more up for the base. But the actual design colours, I'm just mixing with water. So I want to see if that will work, whether the colours will all blend and flow well together, because that's a much cheaper way of doing it. So adding the PVA glue for the large quantity of colour, but then not adding any, just adding just the water for the design colours, because I really liked the effect of just the water. Now, I just want to show you this. The reason this idea has just come about, because I've just mixed this gold. So this is Montmartre gold. This one here, I've mixed with PVA glue and water. So you can see it's sparkly, it's pretty, but it's a bit dull. This one is an identical colour, but without the PVA glue, and I am absolutely shocked at the difference. Look at the difference in colour. So it's pretty, but it's very dull and washed out, compared to this one, which is so bright. I'm absolutely shocked that the PVA glue dampens the colour down that much. It's almost like adding white to it. I'm absolutely amazed. So that's why I didn't want to add PVA glue. I've mixed it again. So all these colours here, I've mixed just with water. So I've got pearl white, I've got a pink, I've got which one is that? Phthalo blue there, and then this is a Prussian blue. For my base of this pour, I'm going to be a split colour. I've got the light blue by Amsterdam, sky blue light, and then I've got manganese blue here. So these are mixed with PVA glue, but the consistency is about the same, whether it's PVA glue or just water. So that's with PVA glue and water. And then this is difficult to show you because it's such a small container. So that looks thicker, but I think it's just because it's such a small container and there's less on the stick. I'm using an 18 by 24 inch canvas. So first thing I'm going to do is put my base down. So as I said, it's a split colour base of the two different blues, a lighter blue and a darker blue. And I'd like the colour to go, or the design colour, I think, to go something like that. So maybe like that. Slight problem. This is a reused canvas and the paint isn't sticking on the edges. I've put gesso on it, but for some reason it's just not coating it at all. It's going all patchy around the edges. So I'm going to go with it because all my paint is down. I'm going to continue with the pour, but I'm not sure what is going on with the edges of this canvas. Right, so I'm going to put my colours down. I'm just going to basically follow the line of the gap, but I'll do little waves. Right, so let's just think how I'm going to blow this out. I'd quite like to get a twist. So I think what I'm going to do is blow the pale blue up and over, and then the darker blue down and round. So I'm going to start at the bottom here and go upwards. Well, the reactions for that were insane. Oh my goodness, they're just changing. I think this might be a little bit runny, but the interactions of these paints, the composition's awful at the moment, but the interactions of these paints, wow. So unfortunately, this hasn't worked. The reaction between the base and the design colours was crazy. It was just evolving before my eyes, and unfortunately, it just has split. So it hasn't blended. So I'm going to try and show you. It's quite pretty. It's quite effective. I'm just trying to show you. You can see that darker colour is just not sitting properly over the other colours. It's separated. Look there, I can probably show you a bit better. So actually it's quite pretty. It's definitely not what I'm wanting. Just there, you can see it really clearly there. So yeah, it's not really worked. So I think that's going to show me that the design colours need to be the same mixture as the base colour. So attempt 2, I've just remixed all my paints, but just with water. So there's no PVA glue now. So I have used quite a bit of paint, which I didn't like doing because that will be more expensive. But this is now just paint and water. I keep checking the consistencies. I'm just trying to get them as similar as I can. I don't really have a recipe for this because I couldn't find my scales. So I just put some paint in, put some water in, kept mixing, kept adding until I felt that it was Dutch pour consistency. If this works, I will work out a proper recipe to see how I've got to this. Right, so attempt 2, I'm going to do things differently. Instead of dividing like that, I'm going to do a sort of division like that, I think. Just feel like doing something different. Right, so the new base is down. My oldest daughter has just come past, has going to bed, and she's just said, "Mum, that just looks like a great big pair of underpants." So, great. Not quite the look I was going for. One thing I'm noticing this time is that the edges have remained covered, so it hasn't run off the sides like it did bizarrely with that first attempt. So same again, I'm just going to pour the colours on in where the colours meet. And another difference, I've taken out the pearl white and I've now putting in just normal white, Amsterdam titanium white. So for this one, I'm going to start at the bottom. I think if I start here, I'm going to go up and then start at the bottom here and go out that way. Right, I'm happier so far. Again, the reactions are insane. They're very different from Floetrol reactions. I've got a lot of playing around to do with the composition, but I'm actually much happier with this. I've managed to keep a lot of negative space. Okay, I'm just now going to be blowing around the edge just to get a design, a sort of composition that I think works better than this. So what's making this for me is the composition and the colours. I absolutely love the composition. I normally like symmetry. It's a little bit symmetrical, but it's not, because it comes off up there and then it comes around this way. And absolutely love all these little fluted lines. Oh, I'm sorry if there's a shadow. I'm just using a different ring light to try and show you the sparkle in this, because I'm aware that I always talk about the sparkle and you can never see it. I'm really hoping you can see it now. That gold without any pouring medium, just mixed with water, is beautiful. It is so sparkly and bright and vibrant. The interactions of these paints are crazy. So this is so different to using Floetrol. You get cells with Floetrol. These aren't cells. I don't really know what you call them. They're very organic, very natural looking. I'm loving all these little sort of channels through the paint. I think it's just the composition, the way it's so fluted and so fluffy. I haven't done a Dutch pour like this for a long time, and this is so different now with this idea of using just water, not Floetrol. I'm really liking it. The other big difference I found with this compared to blowing out one with Floetrol is I'd get maybe a patch of cells, and then before I would be thinking, right, don't touch that bit, leave it, otherwise you'll lose those cells. But if you blew over the cells this time, more just kept appearing. Whereas I found with Floetrol cells, once you blew over them, that was it, they were gone forever. But this just kept developing. Really interested to see how this dries. Really excited about this. I am so happy with this. I absolutely love the composition and the way it's just so fluffy and floaty, and it looks like, does it look like some smoke, or I don't really know what it looks like, but all the little sort of curvy edges, I think it just really is a really intense dark centre, but then just so sort of soft and gentle around here. The details have held, so I was slightly worried I might lose them, because sometimes if details pop up really early on when you blow the paint out, they just expand and then you just lose them. But there are some amazing details in here. It's so different from using Floetrol. So pretty. And one massive difference, it's obvious really, is that this is matte. So when I show you the shine, you can see some shine, but normally I get a much glossier shine from the PVA glue or the Floetrol. But, oh, I'm just going to drop it. Let me show you this gold. It is amazing. So that is the gold with just water, and it's electric, it's vibrant. You can you see there the sparkle in it? I really hope it shows up. It's so different. Adding a pouring medium just dampens it so much. I really hope it shows up, because it's so sparkly. And this is before any pouring, any varnish at all. There is a little bit of texture to it. I don't know if you can see there. So next time I do one of these pours, I'm going to do a drip test where I really check the consistency, because I think there is a little bit of difference in some of the consistencies of the paints. So I will aim to do that better next time. But just so happy with just paint and water. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please leave comments, let me know what you think. Take care. Bye.